giving me the time to interview you. For the sake of this video, I'll call you Kojo.
That is very nice.
Alright. Not his real name though, but Kojo. Alright. So how was it like commuting to Ghana from Germany?
My dear sister, it's interesting. I like the topic you are about to share or what you are about to ask me now. My journey coming from Germany to back home in Ghana, it's a nice journey. I would say I never thought like it will not be nice. It's nice, but on the way being nice, you need to pass through some protocol. It's not as smoothly as we always had it this time, because for this time on, since let me say last year, September or so, when so many rules were introduced, when you need to travel, you need to go through some health procedure, and the health procedure require you to that you need to do your COVID test, and every country has its test procedure you need to pass through. And the COVID test with Germany is they are require you to do a 72 hours official, and the 72 hours official, you need to calculate the day that you need to board and the day you need to reach your destination of your country of landing. So let me say in this 72 hours you need to make sure that you don't have any blockage or hitches on your transit to your final destination. So you are always careful that your 72 hours it's reached exactly. And if it's overboard, you may be stopped or you may be asked to do extra test on your final destination. Example is the 24 hour. The 24 hour, if you are somebody from America, when you take from the state that you are in, and your flight is as long as let me say 15 hour, you make your transit, and your transit to your final destination will also take you like let me say 10 hour. If you don't take care, and within this your transit to your final destination, you need to pause on your transit, let me say 5 hour or 8 hour depending on your ticket schedules, then you may have a problem. But you know the exact hours you will be on your transit and your final destination. Then you do this test, you are surely guaranteed that when you did it and when your test came out, and the time you boarded, you did your check-in to the board, to from your first destination to your transit, the period that you stay and the period that you arrive is up to date, because when you reach your final destination, it will be checked, it will be seen that you have you have
Alright.
accumulate to this 72
Wow.
hour, or you have not accumulated, or you have delayed on the way to the 72 or not. So they take this thing in place. And I've noticed something before your boarding. When you receive your test, the check-in personality calculate this test when you took it, the day you took it, the hour you took it, and the time you receive your test result. Before your check-in, your first check-in, they calculate it for you. So when they see the calculation with all your procedure with your transit, it's not up to date, it's not up to that hour, they refer you before they will grant you your first boarding. Or they will tell you that okay, we'll do you the fast test, the 10-minute test, to add it to what you have done. Then they can guarantee you that that period that you did your test, it's okay, even upon what you have done, the 24-hour or the 72-hour. They can reassure you, or they can reassure the flight that you are okay to proceed on your takeoff.
All right, Kojo. So what happens when delays can come?
Yeah.
So what happens when there is this delay in transit, and this 72 hour you were not able to catch up, and because of that maybe you have to spend about 5 extra hours in transit. So that country that you transited, does it mean you also have to do a COVID test, and how easy is the procedure?
With that, is the airline that needs to answer you for it, or is the airline that needs to communicate it to your final destination, or when there are medical procedure, they need to add to it or make it for you, or provide make a provision for it. They need to see to it that you have it before you go to your final destination. It's like, I can use, for example, on my transits, I thought twice that it may be that I may do my fast test. My fast test is the 10 minutes. So I reach on my transit in Amsterdam. Then I saw, oh, is that what is it? Because I heard somebody said different thing, and I took it in a context that I need to talk because I've not traveled yet. Even that, my first boarding, even my check-in, I heard that you need to do even the 10 minute upon your 72-hour test. I reached there, I provide my European test, and I presented my Ghana test, which I paid online. I was given my online security code that I've opened, and my receipt that I withdraw, that this is my evidence. I never had any fast test at the airport of boarding. So I said, okay, is it that it has changed, or is that what now is required? In as of that week that I on board, because I see that every week or and in a month they bring new rules to this boarding system, or with this COVID procedure or whatever involved. So my transit to Amsterdam, the only thing that I needed to do is they needed to take my temperature reading. They took also from other passengers also, wherever that you are going, wherever, no matter what, whatever continent, whatever place you say that you are going, you need to do this temperature check, then fill in the form. They give you a form of 6 questions or so. You need to fill it. Before that, you have your temperature is taken. Then they have given you the allowance, and giving you the allowance, then you fill in the form. Then the flight personnel stamp in the question that you have filled after your temperature is taken, that you are up to, and they don't require you the 10-minute test. They never need minutes test, so it's enough for them. Then you are allowed to take your boarding, your destination, and that was it. So I was surprised, and I said, it's a new strategy they have. Make the transit and the boarding from your first destination very smoothly, because the previous people that they were boarding, they said different thing. They had different to find this thing. So I really say that when you pass through the legal requirement, it's a smooth journey for me from Germany to Ghana, let me say. But I don't know from the other countries. In Britain or in America, the procedure they pass through, I don't know. I'm yet to know in full how was it. But this is my part, what I experienced.
Okay, a lot has been said. We appreciate it close to us. But in terms of cost, we want to know how moderate it is or how expensive it is for the normal a traveler in this COVID moment? Has it been increased? Is it the same normal price like you pay, or what is it? Can you expatiate?
Explanation is that it has been reduced. Way back 3 weeks ago, the price wasn't the same as mine because in Germany, way back for the 72 test, you were to pay almost 80 euro. But when I was coming a week ago, I had it for 50 euro. So you can imagine from first 80 then to 50 euro.
So what explains
Yeah.
the reduction? What's
It may be that they sit down then make that decision that hey, they need to make it not too tight so that people in this festive season that we are going in or time they can be able to travel because they don't know how costly your ticket may be and how costly the other side also may be with the test, the other end, your final destination. So they put that one into consideration and they tally it together. And when they watch the other countries also with their requirement, and they just made it like the 50 euro is okay because I've heard from people traveling from Italy also pay the 50 euro. Somebody will be coming, let me say, a week from now. A friend of mine also said that he's paying 50 euro. And the Ghana one also you paid online is, let me say, $50. You can imagine it's also the same as for the other person from Italy or other European or whatever because it's fixed now.
okay?
It's fixed now. For my country and the other country, I know some people are from the European country are also saying they are also being charged as
So
from
you
this.
came in how many weeks now?
It's tomorrow is just my 1 week.
Your 1 week,
My
and
1 week.
are people really boarding? Like,
Uh, uh,
are people really flying?
people are boarding, but the people are not boarding as the way they thought was that they would board because even people have the fear of paying extra in case they don't meet up to the amount that they are taking from them, and they also thinking that if in case they fail with their transit and everything, then if they don't meet up to and their flight is cancelled or whatever on their way, then they need to do the test and they need to check themselves twice before moving forward to make the necessary requirement and before boarding. So they will inquire and do the right thing. If it's the 72 is what they are required, they will need to protect their 72 test and do it than doing a 24-hour test like here in Ghana. You cannot be guaranteed in terms of your flight from here to America and your transit is somewhere Istanbul or your transit somewhere in let me say Holland, and your flight change will not help you to move within the next 1 hour or two or make you to stay 5 hours or so, then you need to be prepared for the consequence. Yeah.
So what advice
But
would
for
you?
me, it's a smooth journey.
Yeah.
The cost is okay for me. But I would like even them to also lower it more as the festive season and the winter season is going away because it's a holiday season that we are almost entering. They need to further reduce it.
What advice would you have for travelers in this COVID era? Like travelers in general,
Mm, okay.
those who want to travel, who want to fly.
Mhm,
Because I understand because of COVID, even it is not the plane is it doesn't become full to capacity.
It's true.
there are spaces in
It's
between.
true. It's true. I noticed that. I noticed that. Or on my journey, my first flight to the transit flight, I see it wasn't full. It wasn't full because there are people they can't afford. There are people they cut their flights on emergency, and the cost involved and of the test also it's getting them off that they don't need to pay all those what is demanded. So what I would like to assure passengers is you need to be ready for it. When you want to travel, you need to budget for the uncertainty with this test issue after buying your ticket. So when the impromptu come, in case of doing the 24-hour test, and you need to update this and they take you for the update, you need to be ready to pay for the extra. Yeah, and the 72 is more secured. I would say that the 72-hour test is more secure than the 24-hour test, depending on your journey, because the 72 you are more relaxed and not afraid in your journey with your transit included. About the 24, it's a bit good, but you find your way of your final destination somehow fearful, because if somebody also, I knew a friend who needed to pass through Kenya with Emirates to Dubai. He was stopped on Kenya because of when he took the flight from Kotoka to Kenya, and before taking the flight from Kenya to Dubai with it. So they needed to bring him back again to do a quicker test, and also took a new flight again to another transit destination that is more shorter to reach to Dubai. All is with this 24-hour test. So depending on this flight that you took on your transit to your final destination. So that 72 is the best test when it is there. But when the country don't have it, it's a sad thing, or it's something you can't talk about it.
Okay. So, Kojo, we appreciate your time and we hope that you have a happy stay.
Thank you.
And we are entreating that the countries that are watching this video will be advised so that at least they will consider as well the 72 hours for travelers. So,
And they will try to make the price moderate for the much people who want to travel to bring profit to the airline, because when there is smooth and is cheaper, the private airline can make good service, and they can render good service also for the country that they are operating, because I find it that it makes the airline also, how they are not having enough passenger, their service to the customer is not the best, as because everything is dependent on the number that is coming. So they need to subsidize, they need to manage their service they give to passengers inside, because on it entails a lot, because some flight were there, some flight is cancelled, some flight even in other countries don't go. So they take these things all into account. So the authority in this country needs to be, it needs to sympathize with them, many who wants to travel in this season, in this period. I know it's a difficult time, but they need to help these people to bring income, to bring something to the economy of those countries that they are living, as the other countries in Europe too, they are agreeing on one price and finding a ways to also lower it, or also creating centers. Earlier on, you have only one center to go and do a test, and the one center, when you are not quicker, your update cannot come the fast as it is. But when you are able to create more center within a city or a town, like my town where I took my flight in Berlin, we have three centers. The first time it was one center, and now it is let me say a week before I travel, it's 4 centers.
Okay.
The next day. So you can imagine it making people faster, quicker. The nearer to you, the faster you can reach there, the faster your test can come up for you to board without any fear. That is it.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's a
We
pleasure.
appreciate your
It's a
time.
pleasure. It's also very grateful. I'm very grateful for the interview. I hope the viewers can take this tips and thought into consideration before budgeting or planning for their travel. I hope so. So that they can also have a smooth and enjoyable journey. Because you reach your final destination, like my final destination is in Accra. The protocol was too much, and why is too much is you feel unbearable because you need to pass through forms that even you did not pass through this form from your first destination, and the queue that you go through. If somebody is not a learned person, if the person is not somebody who did not go to school, then they need assistance from somebody who went to school to fill in, to go to online, to give their detail. So it's something, and when they are not computer minded, they are not technology minded, they need to it's cumbersome, they feel uncomfortable. So that is it.
We are so grateful.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
The same, and have a wonderful week also.
Thank you.
My dear sister.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
All right.